Hey guys, it's Levi Gates and welcome back to DETALKS. With me in the studio, Mr. Dylan Von Kleist of Rupes.
Good to see you, buddy.
How you doing, brother? So this has been a long time in the making. We're excited to be here together. Finally reunited at last.
Reunited. Finally got me to Boise.
Yeah.
All of your begging and pleading.
Oh man. So one of the fun things is I've always kind of felt a kindred spirit with you. We seem to have a lot in common.
Absolutely.
2 kids, wives, detail shops.
It's like we're copying each other.
We both have glasses. Although
you didn't get the memo,
I
though.
have hair on my head and not on my face. You're the opposite, so it's because you live in Denver, maybe.
Maybe.
But we've kind of I've followed your career and your progression, and I may or may not have mimicked it a little bit. But
it's fine.
One thing that I've always seemed to, one thing that I think has bonded us is we're both fathers of children with special needs.
Yep.
Which is a big deal. And one thing that I've noticed that as I've met more and more detailers, that it's not uncommon.
No, it's actually kind of shockingly common. I mean, the statistics would tell you it should be, right? We know this is, the actual occurrence of autism specifically is on the rise, and so you figure, okay, there's this many detailers.
It's 1 in 64 kids.
Yeah, 1 in 64. I know way more than 64 detailers, and
yeah.
I mean, know by Facebook at least. And so if you do the numbers, there's a number of us out there in that situation, and it's interesting because I do get messages like, hey, by the way, I saw that you were, I do a lot of advocacy and talk about it openly on my Facebook because I think it's valuable to share.
Yep.
And I'll get messages, hey, I saw that I have a kid too. It isn't always autism. It's, my son has cerebral palsy, or I have a daughter with autism as well. And so it's this interesting connection that doesn't get talked about a lot. It's very kind of behind doors. And I get it. For some people, it's not something they're comfortable talking about in a public setting, in the Facebook world. But yeah, I agree. It's really, really interesting how many people have come to me and said that.
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed that's different about us is that we were detailers that had shops. We grinded it out. We were in the trenches doing the stuff. But I found that once my daughter was born and once we got a diagnosis, it meant more to make sure it wasn't just working. Like, I worked all day to provide for my family, mm-hmm. but I needed to be there mm-hmm. at home and in the development
yep.
of my child
yep.
and help. And, my wife may joke and go like, whatever, you're always still at work. But maybe I'm not as home as I like to.
Well,
but
we can't show this video to my wife. She's going to wonder why I've been in Idaho for a week.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But for me, I'm like, I want to make sure that I at least provide everything that can be attained for her,
Absolutely.
Or for your son. Like
yep.
you have, like it's key. I like having my weekends with
yeah.
my kids.
Yeah.
I like coming home and giving my wife a break. I like that when I come home, my wife can go run errands for 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah.
And I can just have that time with the kids, mm-hmm. or I can do stuff, or we can, They wanted to show me their slip and slide yesterday. They were very excited, and my daughter wanted to show me how it worked.
Yeah.
And so that I find joy in.
Well, there's only so many of those moments in life, and they're fleeting, they're short, and they're going to be gone quickly. I mean, it seems very cliche to say. It's like, oh, they grow up so fast. It really does go by so quickly, and it's hard, I think, for detailers to really manage that work-life balance, special needs children or not.
Right.
You see guys on Facebook, and it's just like, oh yeah, started at 5 o'clock this morning. It's now 8:30 at night, and I got 2 more to do, and I think I'm just going to sleep at the shop tonight. And it's like, yeah, I was kind of that guy when I was younger and didn't have a family, and it was like, it was all about get money so I could go buy toys or
yeah.
mod my car or whatever I wanted. But that priority shifts obviously as you have a family, and and for guys in our situation, you've got even probably a higher demand on our time because of the situations that we find ourselves in with our kids. But it is really difficult for guys. They just can't turn it off. It's that grind, and it's a positive thing in a number of ways, I believe, because that mentality is what kind of is at the kind of the core of this business. That right. just work my butt off all the time kind of thing. But it's so important to kind of be able to shut that off. I'm always available, via email,
Yep.
and it's the electronic leash of the smartphone. But I do make a conscious effort to, there's got to be some time at home where the phone gets put down and I'm not answering emails,
Yeah.
I'm not on Facebook answering messages and texts and things, because I can't steal from my kids that time, because as
Yeah.
much as I want to spend time with them, they want to spend time with me too.
Yeah.
It's more guys need to do that.
Well, and one thing we have is a rule at my house that if I walk in the door, I cannot walk in the front door if I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
And because my kids get such a big
Yeah.
thrill out of running up, giving me a hug, saying hi. So my wife says, you don't walk in the door till you finish your phone calls.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm on the phone with someone, I stand on the front porch, or I stay in the car
Yeah.
out front and wait till I'm done, and when I'm off, and then I come in.
Yeah.
Because that's one of her, it's just a rule. And she's like, it's not fair to the kids. It's
Yeah.
not fair to your kids that you come in and you're on the phone and you're talking. And I would have that. I would have customers that would call me to book an appointment at 5:30 when I'm driving home.
Yeah.
And I'd take it because I didn't want to lose it.
Yeah, you need the business, but at what cost, right?
Right. And one of the things I still try to do, it's very hard because that's that electronic leash, is I try and put my phone down and not touch my phone till after I put my kids to bed.
Mm-hmm.
So that I've got those couple hours, because that's all they're up.
Yeah.
If I'm home by 6, they're in bed by 8:30.
Yeah.
I only got 2.5 hours to play with them for the whole day.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And so, I always try to, it's very hard to do.
Yeah.
And, Facebook is a drug, and
Yeah, it is
it's
very much.
hard to, especially when you're like, man, I got so busy at work and I didn't get to take a look and see, and then
Yeah.
I'm driving home and you're not on the phone when you're driving, and then you get home and you're like, oh man, let me go to the bathroom real quick, and you're
Yeah.
checking, and then you're like, oh, I got to respond to this guy, and I got to let them do this. It's hard.
Well, and the expectation is anymore, communication is so instantaneous that if you don't respond quickly, sometimes people take that the wrong way. Like,
Right.
hey, I sent you a message an hour ago, I haven't heard anything. I'm like, well, buddy, I remember a time when that wasn't, the next day was fine.
We were able to grow up in the age where we wanted to hang out with our friends.
Yeah.
We had to leave a message on their voicemail
Yeah.
and hope that
Yeah.
they would call us back
Yeah.
that day to go to a movie.
Exactly, yeah. And
Maybe
so,
we'll make it together.
yeah,
we may not.
instantaneous isn't always ideal. I get that, that's the kind of the reality we live in now, but it doesn't always have to be. There's no problem in detailing. I don't care what it is so urgent that it takes precedent over personal time for
Yep.
me, or even for people who contact me late, and I go, God, I know you, and I know you have a family. Do they know that you're messaging me about detailing stuff
Yep.
right now? And unless you're actively working on that car, I don't think you need that answer right now.
Yeah.
This could resume tomorrow, and
Well, and now I actually do that. Like, I'll write guys and go, I'll write you back after my kids are in bed with my kids right now.
Yep.
And I'll just leave it at that, and I'll set my phone down because it'll go off a couple times, and I'll just go make sure it's not an emergency or something.
Yeah, nothing's
And
on
if
fire.
it isn't, or I say, hey, sorry, I'm giving him a bath right now. I'll
Yeah.
message you as soon as I get him down in an hour.
Yeah.
Or I'll reply, sorry, I was with my kids, left my phone at home. What's up?
Yeah.
Can I do for you? And I really try to do it when they're in bed because it's important to have that time with them. And I'm not the best at it, but I
Try.
I try.
It's the
That's
effort.
all I can do.
Give it a
Just
try.
to at least know that it's on the forefront of my mind.
Yeah.
And the other thing is just making sure that the guys that are out there that are detailing, that are doing this stuff, making sure that you're not beating your body up so bad
Yeah.
that you can keep doing this, because we have little kids. Mm-hmm. We're almost 40 and we still have little kids.
Yeah.
And it's,
Well, and we've
I
been
look at it and go, oh man, I got to make sure.
Well, and we've been lucky. We've both made that transition to the supplier side of things, so I'm not actually having to physically detail cars anymore, much like you are. And there are more and more guys like us that are making that jump, adding value to the supplier side with experience in actually providing the services, but now you're doing something for a company, trainer or operations guy or whatever it might be. But there comes a point where if you break down, you can't do it. So you can't always be the guy rubbing on the car. You've got to set yourself up to either get people under you, start training employees to do the detailing so that you can supervise, so that you're not completely dependent on these. I
can't even do that anymore.
Yeah, it's just I am a wreck from.
I have arthritic growths now
Yeah.
in my knuckles.
So I'm if I was still detailing today, if I hadn't got out when I did, I would probably have broken down somewhere along the way, and I would have no means for an income, because if you can't use your hands,
well, and that's
you're a
where
useless tool, right?
where it got to me, where towards the end I just couldn't physically keep up with my guys and my team. And so, yes, it helped that I could run the business. Yes, it helped that I could help deliver cars, shuttle cars, pick up customers, do whatever I needed to do, you know, deal with the books and deal with the business itself. But I had 6 guys below me.
Yeah.
And I had an assistant manager, and I had a crew of guys that could all do the job. And yes, we disagreed, me and my assistant manager, to whether or not so-and-so could do the job the right way or his way or that. But to me, it was, but the job's getting done.
Yeah.
And I don't mind going out and wandering around and looking at that car for half an hour if I'm just picking out stuff that they did wrong and making them fix it.
Yeah.
I'm not holding the tool.
Yeah.
Now, I still love to get down on paint.
Yeah.
And it's fun to do, but I like that I get to pick and choose now. And the goal of running a shop or having your own business, get to that point where you can pick and choose the work you do, but have the work that's still coming through. Get the guys that can just do the work day in, day out.
Yeah, your
the
general
busy work.
workflow every day.
Keep money coming through the business, but, you know, run your shop. Don't let your shop run you. That's the biggest key, because it can get away from you, and especially if you don't give away that control.
In a big hurry. Yeah.
You know, and you need to have that time so that you can go home.
Yeah, and it's not just, I mean, it's not aching elbows, wrists, and backs and that kind of stuff from the physical labor. I mean, there needs to be consideration into even what you're breathing in. I mean, these are, chemicals now are much more regulated and safer than they've ever been. That's not to say that they are without
and
their
vehicles.
risk. Yeah, and their vehicles.
You can run a vehicle in a shop without dying now.
Yeah, but it's not a job without its risks, and I do believe that a lot of guys don't take it as seriously probably as they should, and they're always concerned about, you know, booking tomorrow's jobs, booking next week's jobs, what's next month look like, how am I going to get through the winter. I'm encouraging guys, look further out. Look, what's your 5-year? Can you physically keep doing this for 5 years? And if you are you taking all the necessary precautions now? Are you taking breaks? Are you stretching? Guys don't even stretch before they like polish. I'm like, this is hard physical labor. Never discount how hard detailing is.
Yeah, I finally had to start going to the gym, even though
to get in shape to detail.
Just because even though I was working my butt off and was always fairly thin and fairly in shape, I had to go to the gym every night just to keep my body moving. Because if I came home and just sat on the couch, I was sore the next morning.
Yeah.
But if I went to the gym and I was on the elliptical for 20 minutes or on a bike for 20 minutes just to get some motion out of me, like, then I was fine. I woke up the next morning and I felt good.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is weird. I never thought I had to go to the gym, because I'm like, what are you talking about? I work hard every day. I sweat it out.
Detailing business idea. We'll just open up a training studio where you work out as a detailer. So
Jose Fernandez had an idea like this a while back. Get that detailer's body.
Yeah.
Do like stair climbs with the ladder, because you got to clean the window.
I think this is a solid program. You know, lugging around the 5-gallon jugs of compound. You know.
Yeah, we can the
polisher movement.
Moves.
Yeah.
You can do all kinds of stuff.
2-pounded polisher grip. I think we're onto something, buddy.
Yeah, you wipe, wax on, wax off, all that good stuff. He talked about opening a detailer gym specifically for learning how to handle that stuff, because newbies, when they get in and they start playing with polishers and rotaries, that first week, their arms are shredded.
Yeah.
Because of that, because they're like, I didn't know I had to work this hard.
If you're watching, Joe, we need to really kind of finalize this thing, man.
You need to come up and do this with us, and we'll
pilot the program somewhere here in Boise. I think I know somebody who knows somebody who can get us into the gym.
We've got a couple gyms we can. I can do some things. So, but yeah, it's key to take care of your body.
Yeah.
That way, one, you can have it so you can keep working, but two, be around for your wife and kids or your significant others, your partners, whatever. You gotta be able to be there for your family.
Yep.
Period. And especially if you're the sole breadwinner.
Yeah. Which most of the guys in this business are. A lot of guys like that.
And if you're the only guy in your shop, you've got to get help. Having my guy Matt was one of the best things, because I had a guy that one I could trust. I knew how he worked, and if I wanted to go on vacation, I didn't have to worry.
Yeah.
He'd handle it.
Yeah.
And same with, having him was so that he could go on vacation.
Yeah.
And I could take it. I knew all right, he's going on vacation. I'm going to work those 3 days, and I'm going to pick up his slack.
Yeah.
And that way he had his break.
Yep.
And it sharing that burden, the old saying, many hands make light work.
Yeah. Well, and vacation's one thing. God forbid you get hurt, and then your income goes away. And so you've got to set yourself up for that.
Or have surgery.
Yeah. which
random surgeries. I've had to do that. You got to have guys in the stable for that kind of thing.
Exactly.
Well, and you know, the biggest thing is just to try and make sure you stay healthy, learn your products that you're using, make sure you're using the right procedures, the right safety procedures with it, making sure that your shop is clean and
health risks and all that stuff.
Yeah,
and I'd encourage, I mean, kind of getting back, pulling full circle, I'd encourage any of you guys out there who are in a situation like us with a special needs child. I think it's a really cool thing when we connect on more than one level.
Yeah.
It's something that we've shared together. We have some great conversations, and I will volunteer right now to put myself out there and say, I'm available. You ever need to talk about that situation or, you know, just what I do and how I balance that kind of work-life thing with the situation I'm in. I'm always available,
Same
on
here.
Facebook and stuff.
And I like it when you guys comment or respond or send me messages and talk about your kid and how excited you are to at least find another detailer dad, so to speak. So it's a lot of fun, and it's really heartwarming, and I like having this group of guys that we kind of feel that camaraderie together, which makes it fun. So Dylan, thanks for coming again. Always a pleasure, my brother.
Enjoying it.
It's been fun. Check out rupes.com if you want to learn more about the products and tools and equipment and everything that they do. You can always get our products right at the Rag Company. And stay tuned for more videos right here on the Rag Company YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe and comment below. Thanks for watching.